Hello there. I've got someone just off camera here laughing at me. Welcome to the season finale. J'ai dit le finale, on dit. The season finale of Instagram Live Apéro hours. And I was thinking today that I think I've done about 80 episodes, which is really interesting because it doesn't seem like a very long time, but it was. And I originally started doing these because we were all in lockdown and we didn't have a lot of other stuff to do, and I thought it would be fun. Also, my book had just come out and my book tour got canceled for drinking French. So I started doing a cocktail every day, a drink, and it became something really fun, and a lot of people started joining me. I remember the first day there was maybe 17 people, and maybe the second day there was 19, but now it's grown to several hundred at a time, and a lot of people watch these later. So thank you all for joining in. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be doing the daily Instagram Live at this hour anymore. But the great thing is I'm going to be doing other Instagram Lives. I'm going to be going out and about now that we can all travel and talking to different people at places where they work. Not necessarily drinks related, maybe food related, maybe chocolate related, I don't know. I just have to kind of see where things take me. So that's the good thing about social media. I don't have a plan, so. But also thank you. I also like to thank the liquor companies, a few that came to my rescue when I was locked down and I ran out. I don't usually ask for things, but I had to. And so thanks to Pierre Ferrand Cognac for stepping forward, for Chartreuse, for Dolin Vermouth, and for Alambic Bourguignon Mat Sabat for sending me some alcohol, for replenishing my stock. And I am a consumer of their products. I'm not sponsored by them, but I buy them and I like them. So, and I use them in my cocktail. So thank them for participating in this. All right, I'll see you soon. No, just kidding. So today, everybody loves Romain, and I didn't know he was going to be such a hit. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put him on in the first place. But it's great you all got to meet him. And he used to be very shy in front of the camera, and I said, just be yourself because you're really funny and sweet and warm. And he would just stand there in front of the camera until he started doing these. So thank you all for helping bring Romain out of his shell. J'ai tiré Romain. So welcome, Romain Pellas.
Hello, everybody.
So
The last.
le dernier mot, le dernier word. Oui, but we're not gone yet. If we go longer, we'll just go to 2 hours or 3 hours. Romain was very helpful to me writing the book because he helped organize some of the visits to places, and everybody, not just you folks, but wherever we go, people fall in love with him. It's les gens t'aiment beaucoup. Je sais pas pourquoi, mais.
Moi non plus.
He goes, I don't understand either. But people are just even in France, people are they like him a lot. Although.
My pleasure for the company.
Oui. Mais je crois le réparateur de frigo sera pas content lundi après parce que my freezer supposedly got fixed when I emptied it out and let it sit for 2 days, and it's leaking again. So somebody won't like Romain when he calls them Monday morning and yells at them and makes them come back and not charge me in advance again. So anyhow, but that's not for you to worry about. That's for me to worry about. So we were trying to think of what Romain could make today that's very classic French appetizer. On a fait le jambon beurre, the ham sandwich, the French one, which isn't really an appetizer, but it's something you do drink.
Les gondoles d'apéritifs.
Oui, he made the gondolas of Belgian endive with blue cheese, fromage bleu, et les anchois.
Ouais. Le plateau de fromage.
And he taught us how to eat cheese, too, and cut and eat French cheese.
Le gimlet.
The Rosemary Gimlet, which is his favorite cocktail, and it seems to be everybody's favorite cocktail, and mine too, so I'm glad everybody's enjoying it as much as him. So what I'm going to do is take the camera, and he's going to make the classique. Qu'est-ce que tu dis?
Hier soir, on était avec une amie et on ne savait pas quoi faire de symbolique par rapport à la simplicité et aussi par rapport à ce que j'aime et ce que beaucoup de mes amis aiment.
Oui, so,
et cette amie a dit œuf dur.
Okay, so œuf dur mayonnaise, which is hard-boiled eggs with mayonnaise. It's a French classic, and so much so that there's actually an organization called the Association ASOM, I believe. They even have an Instagram page for people who want to save and preserve this. Il y a une association pour sauvegarder les œufs durs. And it's kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah. But it's usually something, there's like a very expensive restaurant in the 7th, I think it's called Voltaire, it's quite expensive, but they still have œuf dur on the mayonnaise, œuf dur mayonnaise on the menu. It's like 2 or 3 euros and they want to keep it there. And there's some very good versions, there's some very bad versions. Often, il y a de mauvaises versions en France.
Oui, il y a l'œuf trop cuit.
Oui, the eggs too cooked.
L'œuf.
Le mayonnaise.
La mayonnaise industrielle.
The industrial mayonnaise. And j'ai dit le tomate. When our friend suggested that he do œuf dur mayonnaise, I said, well, I need to go out and buy really bad tomatoes. Because often if you go to a cafe...
œuf dur mayonnaise au mois de janvier avec une tomate carton.
Oui, he said, like in January, an œuf dur mayonnaise, hard-boiled eggs in January with an egg like a carton, like a box. Because often they're served with very, those bad tomatoes that are rock hard, and when you cut, they're just there for color, but it's very French. C'est français, mais les tomates comme ça sur les assiettes?
Non, c'est plutôt
C'est américain.
Afrique du Nord, influencé par les bistrots français, je sais pas.
Okay.
Il y a un truc un peu méditerranéen, mais en plein hiver. Oui. C'est un peu... ça se veut. Mais quand même, l'œuf dur, il y a un truc qui est très important, c'est que...
Something very important about hard-boiled eggs.
Dans les cafés,
in the
dans
café.
les films de Lina et tout ça, sur les bars,
on the bar,
il y a toujours les présentoirs à œufs durs.
There's usually a thing that holds...
dur tout au long de la journée.
Okay, there's usually a thing on bars that you'll see. There's a picture in my book of them. Il y a une photo dans mon livre. Ouais. They have hard-boiled eggs. You can eat those during the day in France. I've never seen anybody order them, but kind of like they have pickled eggs in America. But mayonnaise is very important for this. You can buy mayonnaise, of course. The mayonnaise... I was showing you the thing. C'est ça. It's this.
This one. The présentoir. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Mais des fois, il y a un seul, c'est joli.
Oui.
Et c'est en fait, les gens peuvent manger un œuf dur parce qu'ils ont faim et ils n'ont pas le temps de manger.
Mais
c'est une sorte de pilule.
C'est snacké.
Oui, mais...
There's a word in French, snacké.
Snacké, absolument.
Snacké.
Oui.
Mais
on ne disait pas ça à l'époque, mais maintenant...
So mayonnaise is made with an egg yolk and oil. A very famous French mayonnaise is aioli, made with garlic. And I just bought this the other day. This is new garlic, and it's very tender and very pungent. Les Parisiens aiment le lait. I'm asking if Parisians like garlic.
Oui.
Beaucoup.
Je sais pas répondre à ce genre de questions.
Oui.
Parce que c'est une généralité, mais je pense qu'il y a des gens qui aiment l'ail et des gens qui n'aiment pas l'ail parce qu'ils estiment que ça donne une mauvaise haleine.
Oui. So some people like garlic here, some people don't like garlic here. Americans tend to use a lot of garlic, and that's one thing Marcella Hazan, the Italian cook, often used to say. She said, she goes, Americans ruin things with so much garlic, but we like it, so... So aioli traditionally is made without an egg yolk. It's made with just garlic, and le vrai aioli c'est que l'ail et l'huile d'olive, ou l'huile, just oil.
Il n'y a rien d'autre.
Non, avec du sel un peu. Ouais. So if any people who are like, if the authenticity police get on your case about something you've made, go look in their Instagram thing and see if they've ever eaten mayonnaise with an egg in it, because traditionally aioli doesn't have eggs. And it's often, I suppose, mortar and pestle like this, but we're not going to use this because it's a little challenging and he's not making aioli. So the last thing I'm going to say before I give the microphone over to Romain just avant, our friend who was over last night, she said, well, when you make mayonnaise, you shouldn't use all olive oil because it has too much flavor. I actually like the flavor of olive oil in mayonnaise, so I use all olive oil, but to be authentic, c'est authentique, utilise le deux plutôt. He's going to use some colza oil. This I bought in the countryside.
Il y a beaucoup de familles qui font quoi avec ça?
He said a lot of people just use this, and French people often make salad dressings with this rather than olive oil. J'ai un ami, Paul Kayat. I have a friend, and she's a little older than me. I say a woman's age because she might be watching. And she says, hello, Paul. She said when she was a young girl in Paris, she goes, you would never, there was no olive oil. She goes, it was all butter. She goes, there was no olive oil. Paul a dit, il n'y a pas de huile d'olive quand elle était jeune.
Ah non, c'est intéressant la mayonnaise sans l'huile d'olive. C'est un côté assez neutre et en même temps très accompagnateur pour le poulet froid, le saumon froid.
Okay,
c'est très bon. Je suis prêt.
Okay, so
je n'ai pas fait de mayonnaise depuis au moins.
So he was supposed to come over early to make a little test batch of mayonnaise, and he didn't make it because he was working in his studio today. So he's going to give it a go, and I'm going to help him, and hopefully it'll work. Okay.
Tu mets le crocodile à l'endroit.
Ouais. Romano, t'es prêt?
Oui, j'ai pas fait de mayonnaise depuis très longtemps.
He hasn't made mayonnaise for a long time.
Alors je vais mettre un petit peu de moutarde.
Just a little bit of mustard.
Pour le goût. Et je vais prendre un peu d'huile.
So, quelqu'un a dit quel pourcentage on comprend l'autre?
La moutarde?
Non, oui, nous. Tu me comprends quel pourcentage de choses?
C'est un secret.
So I asked Roman, he said it's a secret. Okay.
Un secret story.
Wait. So somebody's asking me about the drink on the cover of Drinking French, and it's the Grapefruit Rose. All right. So commence avec ça. So this has a little thing on it, and I like using that for making, because you want a really fine stream. I also want to show, this is a bowl that has a rubber bottom, a silicone bottom, so it doesn't slip. To Denny NEA41 who made mayonnaise, it broke, but you fixed it. I actually bought some olive oil at an Italian food cooperative in Paris, and my mayonnaise didn't work, and I made it again, it didn't work. And a friend of mine who's in the food, he's a good cook, said, well, it's probably not real olive oil, which I thought was very interesting.
J'adore ça.
He loves doing this.
I love the fabrication of the mayonnaise.
Mais tu peux rester le bol, pas le bruit. I said, don't make noise.
Pourquoi? C'est normal le bruit.
He said it's normal. My mother hated noise, so je suis comme ma mère.
Insupportable.
Ouais. No, he said insupportable. Keeps the magic alive to not understand everything. Toujours en voyage. It's been interesting explaining social issues to Roman this week because it forces a lot of vocabulary. J'ai expliqué les choses, les actualités aux États-Unis cette semaine, la semaine dernière. Very interesting.
Oui, c'est...
So the other oil that we're using is canola oil. It's called colza oil in French. Somebody said that they use a damp towel to keep the bowl from moving, which works really well. This bowl, though, has a silicone bottom, so it stays. Okay, continue. Wait, he wants to hold the bowl. Tu peux ajouter de huile?
Oui, j'arrive.
Okay.
Et qu'est-ce que tu as dit sur les États-Unis?
J'ai dit, tu adores les États-Unis.
Que tu as expliqué quoi?
J'ai expliqué les actualités.
Ah bah oui.
So.
Tu as complété.
It was also interesting explaining to Roman the social things happening in America. In addition to the Black Lives Movement, the Bon Appetit situation, what that means, ethnic or multicultural cooking, what it means, who makes what, why there was a problem with that. So it was very interesting explaining that to him.
On met pas un peu de sel?
Wait, a little bit of salt. So this is what the mayonnaise looks like now, and I'm just going to stop him. You can see it's very thick, and it's holding its shape, which is good. Wait. That's perfect.
Je suis super content.
So you can add...
Continue?
Oui, avec un peu plus de huile.
Oui. Ça?
Yes. Brad Parsons, say hello to Brad. Romain, bonjour Brad.
Bonjour Brad, je t'embrasse très fort.
So this does get a little bit of lemon juice in it later. Some people don't put lemon juice in their mayonnaise. So, but somebody had asked about that.
Ce que j'aime beaucoup dans la mayonnaise, c'est que à partir d'un jaune, tout d'un coup, tu peux faire une matière très dense, très riche, très intense, avec juste un tout petit peu, un seul œuf, un seul jaune d'œuf. Ça m'impressionne beaucoup.
Oui,
la progression.
He's actually saying that it's really interesting that you can make this big bowl of mayonnaise out of one egg yolk. And we were talking about this actually when I worked at Chez Panisse. Usually you use one egg yolk for each cup or 250 milliliters of oil. But you can actually, I think you can make mayonnaise like one egg yolk with like 3 cups of olive oil or oil. And I remember one of the cooks I was working with said, well, why would you want to?
Et tu as l'impression que tu peux continuer.
To continue?
Ben, beaucoup. Tu peux faire de la mayonnaise comme ça, quoi.
And if it gets too thick, you can add some hot water a little bit later. Tu peux ajouter un peu d'eau après.
Je pense que la qualité de l'œuf joue beaucoup.
Oui. Ok, tu veux... Yeah.
Okay. Les en main.
Okay, continue. So I'm speeding things along because I know he's got the emulsion set. They used to say things like, if there was a storm coming, I think the Joy of Cooking said that. If there was a storm coming, it would make your mayonnaise break. A terrible thing I've actually heard too was that sometimes women can't make mayonnaise because the physiology would prevent it from forming an emulsion, which I think was basically just kitchen sexism. So I don't believe that's true, but I'm just putting that out there because I've heard that in several lore, kitchen lore from days of yore. Okay, on va voir. Hello in Pittsburgh. So je vais goûter. I'm gonna taste it. And I can see it's actually just starting to separate. Tu as mis du sel dedans? Okay. Et, c'est bon. But I can see it's just starting to separate. So.
Elle est en train de se perdre.
You can see I've beaten a lot of eggs. All right. Et
bon?
Tu veux ajouter juste un touche de... We add just a bit of lime juice. Wait, just un touche. Normally I'd add lemon juice, but I juiced this a little earlier for cocktail. All right. So. On a besoin d'un peu plus de sel et basta.
Peut-être du sel plus fin?
Oui, ajouter un peu plus. All right, so we've got mayonnaise. I'm going to show the label of this oil. It's canola oil. It's called colza. There's a lot of colza grown outside of Paris. You see the fields. It almost has a mustard-like flower. And the greens are delicious. This is a first pressed. So. All right. De quoi ça va?
Mais elle est plus liquide, c'est normal?
Oui, mais normalement, oui, mais...
Mais tout à l'heure, elle n'était pas faite.
Oui,
tu as
parce
rajouté de l'huile?
Oui, mais ça va, mais... Laisse, stop.
C'est fini?
Stop. Oui. OK.
Tu as goûté?
Cherche les œufs.
Oui. Je goûte.
OK. All right. So we've got some hard-boiled eggs that I cooked earlier. My technique for making hard-boiled eggs is that I bring water to a boil. I put room temperature eggs into the water 9 minutes. And then when they're done, I drain the water out and fill the pan with ice water.
Wow, c'est joli.
Okay, whoops. Wait, but pourquoi tu coupes pas? He doesn't like to listen to me.
Parce que Parce que c'est plus...
Okay.
Sinon, c'est trop...
So good
risqué.
hard-cooked eggs are not fully cooked. They shouldn't have green around the outside. I should have cut them in advance, but that's okay. So, tu veux finir le... Yes, someone said that mayonnaise knows you're nervous when it starts to break, which is this is doing. And I would give this a whisk. Actually. Yeah. So I used to make soufflés every night. So I have a very strong whisking arm.
Il ne faut jamais changer de main quand on fait la mayonnaise.
Oui.
Tu vois.
Et les ciboulettes?
Oui.
A little bit of chives. Okay, I'm joining it. This is one of my favorite things to eat, so... Oops.
C'est joli.
So, on peut manger?
Oui. Tu veux que je mette la table? La petite table blanche?
Tu es là. Oui. So the mayonnaise is on the runny side, but that's okay.
C'est comme la dînette
Oui.
des enfants.
Je mange. C'est très bon.
L'œuf légèrement mollet, c'est délicieux.
C'est délicieux. So, we'll finish those later. And there is a recipe in my book, My Paris Kitchen, how to make those in detail, but that's basically how you make them. So, and you can buy store-bought mayonnaise. There's no, I actually have this, I don't know why, but I don't eat a lot of mayonnaise, but there's no shame in store-bought mayonnaise. A lot of them are made with natural ingredients. There's something in French mayonnaise. The mayonnaise en France est très très bon.
Très très bonne.
Bonne, oui. It's a goût authentique. So the cocktail that I'm going to make today, I'm going to make two cocktails. I'm surprising him with his favorite cocktail. So je vais faire le cocktail qui s'appelle The Last Word, which I thought was very appropriate. He's going to start crying, he said. So je vais bouger les... spend a lot of time cleaning up after people here.
Tu j'arrive tout.
Oui. I'm really into clean. All bakers are clean. Well, the good ones are. Okay, so this cocktail is called The Last Word, and it has Chartreuse in it, which is that liquor. I've been using a lot of this, and I do love it. And I've gone through this is a bottle that is like a week old. So, and then it also has maraschino in it, which is a liquor that's on the sweet side from Italy, and it's made from cherries. My bottle, this is a new bottle, and it's almost empty. It's not that new, but this is a vintage bottle. Ça c'est du Tessa, chez Tessa. We were at a friend's house, and she goes, "Oh, take all these old bottles. I don't want them." And I was like, "Wow." I was like, "Thank you."
C'était ça qui te l'a donné?
Oui.
Oh, c'est joli.
And it has fresh lime juice, which I squeezed a little earlier. And then it also has gin. And I've been very fortunate because I had 3 different producers of gin on the show the last few months. One of them was Citadel Gin. I had Alexander Gabriel and his wife Debbie. Hello, if you're watching. Brad Parsons. Yes, have a drink with me someday. We'll meet for drinks again soon. So il y a des Citadel gin. This is the first gin that was made in France. I had Miko from Odemus Spirits à Bouffe. He makes this pink pepper gin. Ça, c'est un gin avec des poivre rose. And has tonka bean in it. And then the other gin is from my friend Matt Sabat of Alembic Bourguignon, who joined us from his house in Burgundy. And I've used it so much I broke the top. So quel gin tu préfères que je...
Celui-là.
Okay, so he wants to use this one in the last word. So the last word is quite simple. The recipe is on my blog if you want to check it out after we're done. Or it's also in my book because I liked it so much. It was a drink that was unearthed by a bartender named Murray Stinson, and it sort of brought Chartreuse back to the forefront. La Chartreuse était un peu oubliée. Et il y a un barman qui a découvert ce cocktail.
Mais récemment, il a découvert.
I think in the 80s, I'm not sure, 80s or 90s, peut-être dans les années 80.
Ah oui.
So it came back, it might have been a little later, I'm not sure of the year. But it came back with a vengeance, and so now we're all drinking it again. So it's basically equal parts gin, chartreuse, maraschino, and lime. So I'm going to add 3/4 of an ounce of chartreuse. Tu veux le petit table?
Si tu veux, tu l'as enlevé.
Oui, mais je change ma tête.
C'est bizarre.
Oui.
T'as raté la manette.
Merci, c'est super gentil. We're having our first fight of the day. I said, bring the table. He goes, you said you didn't want it. I was like, I changed my mind.
No, we don't.
Wait. Okay, welcome to my world. Okay, 3/4 of an ounce of chartreuse, 3/4 of an ounce de gin. Tu sais?
Mais on sent un peu le poivre. Mais le poivre et l'odeur du gin, ça marche bien ensemble.
Oui, he said the pepper and the gin works really well together. And then I'm going to add 3/4 of an ounce of maraschino. And it's because it's made with a type of cherry, that's how it gets the same. There's no maraschino cherries, those red cherries or something else. The variety is called marashka cherries. And I saw my friend Joanne Weir the other day on Instagram making a cherry margarita, and she used some of this. It's sweet, so it actually fills in really well for simple syrup. C'est bon ça. It was very difficult to find in Paris. So 3/4 of an ounce of this. This is one of my absolute favorite cocktails.
Ça sent bon.
Ouais.
C'est à base de prunes.
Je cherche quoi?
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
J'oublie tout. So I'm blaming him. All right, and then fresh lime juice.
Super. Fabulous.
All right, a nice icy glass, because there's nothing worse than a cocktail. Oops. In a cold glass, in a warm glass, especially a martini. Ça va? Okay. And I will get to combat. Margot, I'm gonna hit her up for a shaking lesson. On va aller chez combat. Parce que Margot a fait comme ça. Margot was one of my favorite guests. She's the only person I had on twice. And she owns Combat Bar in Paris. So this is the last word. And the one on my blog is a little greener because I think I used a liquor called, I was out of chartreuse, I used Isara.
Et la seule couleur que ça donne, c'est le citron vert.
C'est la chartreuse.
Ah oui.
Et le jus de citron. Tu veux présenter ça?
Bah ça y est, ça fait. Comme ça.
Ou dans le... Oui. Good.
Vas-y, c'est pour toi.
Non, c'est pour toi.
Ah.
J'adore ça.
C'est marrant.
Never know what's going to come out next.
Oui, parce que
J'ai dit, je ne connais pas le réponse. C'est une surprise.
Ça ressemble au Gimlet.
Oui.
Hein?
J'adore.
Il y a la même famille.
It's like, all he talks about is gimlets. If you read Drinking French, there's a story about Roman discovered the... J'adore ce cocktail. J'aime beaucoup. I love that cocktail.
Ah ouais, c'est très
He
bon.
discovered the Rosemary Gimlet, which became his favorite cocktail, but he didn't realize that it's not a classic cocktail that you can get at every cocktail bar. So everywhere we went, he started asking, they would say, what would you like? Especially in Paris, he was like, a Rosemary Gimlet. And they're like, what? And once he made one, a bartender made one with this rosemary flavored gin, and it didn't come out quite the same as mine. And the bartender who was going to be featured in the book asked Roman if he liked it. J'ai expliqué l'histoire de toi au bar. And Roman said, not really. So he never answered my emails.
What?
J'ai dit, réponds pas à mes emails à cause de toi.
C'est très bon avec le...
Tu manges aussi?
Oui.
He said it's very good with
It's very
the egg.
interesting. The relation is very nice because le soufre avec ça, hein, c'est parfait. Quoi?
J'ai un moment. Okay, he learned that from me too, for better or worse. So, je vais faire une surprise pour toi.
Really?
Oui. Tu sais ça?
C'est du romarin?
Oui, je vais faire une gimlet pour toi.
Ah ouais?
C'est gentil. I'm gonna make a rosemary gimlet for
Tu
him.
l'as trouvé où?
Tu m'as donné.
Ça vient du jardin.
Yes. So it's from his garden outside his studio.
Mais on a le temps de faire un gimlet?
Oui. He said, "Do we have time?" So if you want to leave, go ahead. But I'm going to make him a rosemary gimlet. Hello, Robert Simonson. Will there be a summer replacement for Apéro Hour? Open to all thoughts and ideas. I've made a lot of cocktails, which was fun. I don't know what to do.
Qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait manger avec le gimlet?
Non, qu'est-ce que je vais faire prochainement? Okay.
Ah!
I'm going to make a rosemary gimlet, and I'm going to use, I think I'll use this gin.
David a plein de projets en permanence.
Tu peux rincer ça?
Oui.
He's a good assistant. Yes, Margot's Instagram is great. And now she's open at Combat, so I'm looking forward to going back there. And she's open every night.
Tu as fait du sirop de...
Oh no! Okay.
Tu as fait
Alright.
du sirop de romarin?
Oui, dans le frigo.
Je vais le chercher.
Oui. He asked if I made rosemary syrup, and I said yes. It's in the fridge.
Oh my god.
Retrouvé. So it's 2 ounces of gin. Oh, ça c'est le blanc d'œuf. Good boy.
C'est presque vrai. Ah oui, ça ressemble.
So rosemary syrup. He pulled out the egg white. He goes, it looks the same.
Absolument.
Wait, it's not a sour. Okay, there's 2 ounces of gin, and I'm going to add 3/4 of an ounce of rosemary syrup. Oops, a little too much, because
Attention, hein.
I don't have my glasses on.
Artoun.
Cool. And then 3/4 of an ounce of lime.
David,
So
c'est
if you want to make Roman happy, make a rosemary gimlet. Tu adores ça?
fabulous surprise
Oh.
for me, for everybody. Absolute.
Et tu veux... So I'm going to have you shake the cocktail. Tu veux...
Oui.
Oui.
David, tu me dis quoi?
C'est froid.
Ça augmente le pression, ouais.
Right. So I said, he's asking me if it's ready, and I said, is it cold? So, quoi? Aïe, aïe, aïe.
C'est fou, quand tu secoues, ça augmente la fraîcheur.
Ouais,
Ah. C'est super bon.
So this is the Rosemary Gimlet. It looks similar to the last word. There's a picture of Roman in the book drinking one of these. Le garni avec le tige de Roman et le blanc.
Oui,
Or tige.
Les deux.
He's the last in the cocktail chapter. Ça, c'est le visage de Romain. Et il est bon.
Ah, c'est intéressant les deux. C'est très très bon.
Ah oui, je goûte.
C'est très différent des autres.
It's
mais
very
c'est
good.
très, très
It's
bon.
very different than the other one. Oui, après, c'est un peu différent.
Après ça, oui. Oui.
It's very interesting drinking it after this, because this is sort of it's a whole different drink. It's got Chartreuse in it. It's got maraschino. It's a much more voluptuous cocktail, and this one's much more like a sour. It's very refreshing.
It's a very strange because first it's a very interesting because big intense le goût. Et celui-là.
He said this is lighter. The first one was very intense.
Et celui-là après paraît beaucoup plus calme, alors que d'habitude c'est fort.
Wait. Somebody's asking where these cocktail glasses are from, and I did a lot of posts last month. When I updated my newsletter, I linked to them all, because I usually say, like, I have a recapitulative. And one of the posts was called setting up a home bar in Paris. Setting up a home bar, what equipment to buy, like shakers. And I don't remember the exact name, but it's on if you type in the search engine, setting up bar, there's a link to where these glasses are from, because I get asked that a lot. And they're not expensive. These were like €7 each.
Tu as fait exactement la même recette que d'habitude. Incroyable.
J'ai ajouté un peu plus de romarin parce que j'étais pressé. So you can check out, they're called the Triton Collection. But you can check that out. There's info about them.
Merci David.
Could I use an egg white that has been frozen and thawed? I don't know. Okay, so the hard-boiled eggs. I take room temperature eggs, slip them into boiling water, let it boil at a low boil for 9 minutes, then drain that off, the water off, and then put ice and water in the pan. And that makes the perfect hard-boiled eggs. So I hope that clears it up. I do want to say also two things since I've got you here. I want to thank, there's a woman, Maggie Beltrami, and I hope, is it Beltrami or Beltrani? Maggie, if you're watching, sorry if I got, Maggie Beltrani. She has made, I think, 93 books from the, sorry, someone just sent me a text, I'm reading that, and I'm not good at multitasking. She's made 93 drinks, I think, I just posted on Instagram, from Drinking French. She's been a super champ, and I went to her Instagram page, and it was all these drinks from the book. So Maggie, if you're watching, thank you so much for making all the drinks. And there's several other people too. I've been trying to thank you all in comments and so forth on your posts. It's been really wonderful to see everybody making so many drinks from the book and posting them and enjoying them. The whole idea of writing a cookbook of any sort is to give people recipes that they can enjoy making and eating. Drinks are sort of immediate gratification, which is why they've been a great subject for this, because I'm not roasting a leg of lamb and having you wait around for 2 hours while it finishes in the oven. So Maggie did a super duper job, and there's several other people, so thank you. A woman just contacted me today, and she said she's starting an Instagram page for drinks for the book, and it's going to be at Apéro Hour. And I don't think she's posted anything yet, because she asked me if that was okay with me, and I said, of course. So I said, go ahead and do that. So it's going to be at Apéro Hour. I noticed somebody already has Apéro with an underscore hour. Maggie, there you are. Oops. No. Okay, Beltrami. Whoops. Okay, got it. I think I got it right. But thank you so much for making all the drinks. It's a pleasure to see them every day. Sorry it cost you bought all the liquor, but now you know. It's a good investment. I had 150 bottles of liquor before the lockdown, and I thought, what am I going to do with them all? And now I've used a lot of them. J'ai eu trop d'alcool avant le confinement. J'ai dit confination. Confinement. I always say confination. I was anglicizing that, and last night my friends were finally no, it's confinement. Et là,
Confiné,
oui.
confinement.
Tu veux ça ou celui-là?
J'ai écouté celui-là.
Ok.
C'était un vrai plaisir de participer au Apéro de David Lebovitz.
Et roman aussi.
Et,
He said it's a great pleasure to participate.
J'espère que vous allez bien et que on continuera autrement peut-être avec David de le regarder sous différents médiums.
Oui.
Médias.
Non, le même média.
Oui.
Oui.
Le podcast, le blog,
Mhm.
l'écriture,
Oui.
le book,
Oui.
le podcast. C'est pas mal. Il est très actif.
And I also want to thank my friend at Instagram for helping me. If you're out there, hello. I won't call you out because you'll get asked all these questions about Instagram. But thank you so much for helping me with my the technology behind this, because I'm kind of it was a little challenging for me to figure out how to do this. So it was very nice.
Oui, dans cette période de confinement, il y a eu beaucoup de choses positives. Et il y a beaucoup
During the confinement, there was a lot of positive things.
Et beaucoup on a réinventé un peu les choses
Oui,
pour le futur. Et il faut garder les choses positives pour soi et pour les autres. Il faut garder les choses qu'on a appris.
So he said there's a lot of things that we learned
et les mettre en action.
That we can put into action for the future.
It's very important.
Yeah, and it was very touching for me also to read when I posted about today's season finale. People said, it was so nice to be with you during, les gens sont très touchés d'être avec nous dans le confinement, pas confination. Je complique tout, no? That day I was complicating it. But it was also very nice to be with you, all, because we were stuck here as well together, and we were saying, dans le confinement.
Quoi?
No, tu m'as fait ça. He wanted to kill me, I think, a couple of times. No,
c'est nécessaire.
But thank you all for showing up every day, and I'm glad it meant as much to you as it did to me. Also, if you want to keep the spirit alive, I didn't mean to say that as a pun, but I guess I did, so there it is, so it's authentic. My book is available from your favorite local bookstore, independent bookstore. It's a good time to support independent bookstores. Of course, you can also buy it online. That's easy, and they might have it in stock. And I shop online as well, but I love bookstores. So if you have a good local independent bookstore, feel free to check them out, see if they have it. If not, they could probably order it for you. I was very happy to write this book because it was a departure for me. Some people looked at me kind of funny when I was writing the book, and they said, why are you writing this book? Les gens m'ont demandé, pourquoi tu as écrit ce livre? And it was a subject that I fell deeply in love with. I fell in love with the French spirits.
C'est une bonne question.
J'ai tombé amoureuse avec les spiritueux français et comme toi. I said I fell in love with French spirits like him.
Je suis une bouteille d'alcool.
He said he's a bottle of alcohol. But I fell in love with French spirits and the traditions and the culture around them. And I hope you enjoyed the guests I had. It was really nice. Brad Parsons was here, and Robert Simonson, who are in the comments, Ivy Mix, different people in the US, as well as different people in France who are distillers and so forth. And I was really happy. When I wrote the book, I was very touched when they helped me because they didn't know who I was. I was just some guy that said, I'm really interested, que je suis très touché quand j'ai contacté Dolin, par exemple. And I said, can I come visit? And they were like, sure. They were like, what? you're interested in what we do? I was like, of course. So it was very nice, it was very touching. But circling back to you folks, thank you very much again for showing up every day. And I hope to see you soon. I hope to get outside more. That's one of the things, because I do this at 6 o'clock. So it was a little hard because at first it was dark. Au début, c'était très noir, très dans l'obscurité, mais maintenant. So there was a lot more darkness, but now it's lighter. So.
Mais quand tu as commencé le livre, j'étais très étonné.
He said he was very surprised when I started writing the book.
Et au fur et à mesure, j'ai compris que en fait, c'était très très proche de ton tempérament de aimer la cuisine, parce que ça c'est de la cuisine.
It was very close to how much I love food. So.
Et en fait, tu as toi-même découvert une partie de tes rêves avec ce livre.
Oh, merci beaucoup. We can fait le bisou. In France, people are still, they're not supposed to do the bisou, but ça va. All right, well, thank you very much again. I will see you soon, hopefully this week. I'll try to think of something interesting to do outside of my kitchen, so you can see a little bit more of Paris, or food, or drinks, or whatever. So, à bientôt, on dit.
À bientôt.
À bientôt.
Et merci beaucoup pour toi, David, d'avoir donné ton temps.
À toi ou he said thank you for your time.
En totale spontanéité et liberté.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Ok, ciao.
Everybody.